This was a story that was written so long ago. Um, it was created over probably 30 years, and I guess now the time comes to actually decide whether we put it out in whatever format we want. Originally it obviously started off as a book like everybody else, but in truth I've decided to pursue a slightly different slant, and I will basically run this as a first-person video log of awakening, history, and stories of the past that still resonate even today in this world that is confused and, quite frankly, suffering. So here we are, 2018. This is a story that begins 51 years ago as part of a single human life altered by something as simple as lucky birth or unlucky birth, depending on how you look at it, and a combination of some interesting parasites that are commonly found in cats. So I should probably begin my life and explain to you where I came from. I was born in the city of Utrecht, Netherlands, and here in the Czech Republic, where I currently reside, Utrecht means city of three devils, or three devils in short. So, am I one of the three? I doubt it. I believe I'm probably the one. But that's okay. This is just a fictitious story. This is just a legend where we start to create a new story for mankind. Maybe we create one today. Maybe together we can create one we can all believe in. Because, to be perfectly honest, what we have now is clearly not working. Clearly not working because, hey, look around you. It's just not working. We cannot continuously go through cycles of hatred and pain and warfare to only then rebuild. This is not an adequate way to rebuild an economy, and unfortunately those in charge currently seek to destroy the world yet again in the hope that somehow the economy will recover afterwards. But to be perfectly honest, I am not convinced that that is the case. In fact, I can tell you for sure that it is not the case. So where do I begin? Well, that's an interesting question. How about I begin in this cycle, in this life, one of many lives led before, but this time has been different. Unfortunately, very different. For I am woke. Not woke in the fascist sense, not even woke in the greenie sense. I am simply awake. And awake kind of sucks. I don't like it very much. But here it is. I have no choice but to stand up and say, no more. No more to the abuse of children. No more to hatred. No more repeating the original sin over and over again. I will not allow it. I will not permit this to occur, and nor would my Creator. So, what do we do as part of this fictitious story? Well, let me tell you about awakening, being woke. To begin this story, you need to understand where I come from. I come from a place of sleep. For many years, I was, like you, asleep. In truth, a series of prescribed medications, a series of self-medication had gone out of control, led to me essentially no longer existing for, well, a period of 2 to 3 years, and in the end a total of 6 years, because I was looking for something. I knew I was looking for something. I've always known I was looking for something. And then the year 2018 sprung into my mind. 2018, what does that year mean? Well, let's do minus 50, shall we? 1968. Praha Uprising. Interesting. How did that come to mind? Well, I happened to be just going through my usual rigmarole of playing a computer game, some of which I've given up on, by the way, but this one I will persist with just to see how it ends, because the story is quite interesting, to be perfectly honest. I'm playing Deus Ex, and I go through the crap first level where you kind of have to blow up the helicopter and you don't quite know what the fuck to do. And you get to the next level, which is the Praha level. Now, I walk around a bit and I go, this is pretty cool, this looks like a train station. Sure, no problem at all. Lo and behold, 2 days later, I get contacted by a friend of mine. He says, hey, how would you like to have a job in the Czech Republic? And I went, cool, why not? Not much else going on. This is not a mausoleum that I choose to die in, so why would I want to continue with this particular situation? Time to go, time to move forward. So, 6 weeks later, terribly unprepared, I am on a plane to the Netherlands to go visit my wonderful friend and her son. And I do so, I gorge a little bit on junk food because I like junk food. I like my fricandelles, I like my croquettes, and I especially like my filet américain. So, vegetarian I am not. So, now I stay with them for a while, and then I step on the train because I like travelling by train. It's a lot more fun than plane. Although the food on the plane can sometimes be better. Now, so I catch the train, I go from Holland, from Rotterdam, through Germany, and eventually I'm supposed to get off at Frankfurt, and I get off at the wrong bloody station. And lo and behold, I can't actually... What the hell happened? I wound up in catching a different train and wound up in Nuremberg. Place I've always wanted to visit, by the way, simply because of the rally grounds and the historical context. And now I understand better why, of course. But being this particular fictitious story, we have the next little coincidence. I get to Nuremberg because I catch a train to Nuremberg, and however, there does not appear to be a train going from Nuremberg to Praha, so I have to catch the bus. Now, of course, in the back of my head, I'm still thinking, damn, I wish I would have been able to catch the train. It would have been cool to see the train station. Excellent. So I stay in Nuremberg for 2 days, and I enjoy myself. Meet some lovely ladies and some interesting short-haired gentlemen. But essentially, I love the place. It was just very cozy, very wonderful, and it was devastating to think that the place had basically been rebuilt from scratch. My immediate impression was, let's not do that again. Germans didn't deserve this. No, sorry. Was not acceptable. Firebombing of Dresden was not acceptable. We have to acknowledge this as English speakers, even though I was born in Holland. Now, the thing about it was that I stayed in Nuremberg for effectively 2 nights and then caught the bus to Praha. And lo and behold, here I am getting a sense of deja vu because 6 to 8 weeks earlier I played a computer game and the station looked almost exactly the same. And the thing that left me dumbfounded was, of course, the Woodrow Wilson plaque on the inside of the station. Kind of understand where it comes from, but I kind of, yeah, it's interesting. So yes, I eventually make my way to Brno, and no, I'll skip forward because, to be perfectly honest, that part's pretty boring. Let's forget about that. Let's forget about all of that. Let's think about recent events. When you awake, when you become aware, I have to ask Shirley MacLaine one day whether somehow everything merges together into something interesting and strong, or is it that it comes in dribs and drabs, and slowly but surely the picture grows complete. Over the last 8 weeks, my picture has been more complete than ever. And it's strange, it's a very strange picture. Full of coincidences and interesting little side effects that I had never actually contemplated. So I was half expecting to do this as a child, somehow, but certainly not the way it's happening right now. The awakening is fascinating to say the least. A scientific curiosity as much as anything else. Acknowledgement of self, something I've always preached, is a difficult thing to do. It's difficult for all of us.